Hey guys, welcome back. Hope you had a good day in the market. It's Monday, July 27th. We're going to review 0-day options today on SPY and the small account challenge. Here's Eric's chart. He's SPY day trading on YouTube. This is 30-minute chart. You can find his Discord linked in the description. 5-day moving average is below 20-day. And we've got a gap up and just basically sold the first half hour. And then kind of grinded around down here, built some liquidity, found support on blue, kind of threw me off a little bit. It broke through, closed, and then came back up. I suppose if you duplicated this blue line on this wick, it would be pretty close to that. This isn't my chart though, so I can't do that. Yeah. See if we have a gap down tomorrow. I wasn't on until about 10, so there was maybe a trade in the morning that I'm sure some people could have gotten. I don't think I would have taken it. This purple right here. So I charted this after the fact. I was on the market like here. So seeing it break and then retest here. That helped me identify that as the bearish controlled buying. If I had it earlier, sure, could have taken it on the retest. The selling it was going in was hard for me to see. By the time it was here, I had gold. And just wasn't sure if that was it. I did think that was it, and then it kind of broke below it here and kind of chopped around it. And then I threw in this gray, which is based on these supports, which I liked from it retesting that as resistance. Rebuilt little liquidity here. Didn't really make a nice structure, but did on the purple. Yeah, I mean, if I was a little more aggressive, I guess I could have taken it on this, but that's basically right when I drew it. I think this had actually already happened once I got that gray. At that point, I still had the gold, so it wasn't even at my resistance. So yeah, potentially a put on that or a retest on here. Again, very, very small little structures. Not my favorite first trade of the day, first trade of the week, a chase trade. Or when it's already selling in something pretty aggressive, to then take it on the break where, so like you take it on this break, the steeper green. I wasn't there for that anyways. So the next potential was right here. Again, gray was pretty new to me. I wasn't sure if it was in gold, and it did break here, so I could have potentially gotten it there. Not my favorite. Not for the first trade of the week. Again, lack of structure, just trying to be patient. On the 30-minute, yeah. I don't even know where 5-day was at that point. See if it was there. Yeah, we're already below 5-day. So yeah, I mean this is an option. Then with green as your risk, but it's just a little aggressive for me. My first trade was at 1052. This was a put, so it came down. This would have been 30. Okay, so this would have been after it had bounced. Bouncing on blue here. That's the 1030 candle, so that closed at 11, right? So that was in here. With what I had drawn though, it was difficult because I wasn't sure if it was gold or gray I was selling in. Maybe it was both. You see, I put gold down here too, but really I had it here and then it broke it and then just yeah. So I thought it was actually more dominantly in gray. Just selling gray and breaking it. So catching this retracement, this zombie was, it's a little tricky. I was going to catch it once it broke here, potentially. But anyways, I got into puts here, just for that being the resistance. And that was at 1052 on this candle. Yeah, I was right here. And then that candle reversed on me, and I got out 110 to 94, in and out in the same minute. And I considered flipping to calls, but I don't think I did, which is fine. Yeah, didn't flip into calls. Still, I mean, still, there's definitely a wedge that we're in, and at this point, I thought we were probably closer to the middle of the wedge. I didn't have much more for a less aggressive selling. I guess I did. I guess I had that gray. So it would have been a wedge with this purple and that gray. Yeah, continue to buy up in that. I just had nowhere to manage my risk to get calls here. Would have been just with the green, which I think I had drawn then, but there wasn't. It didn't show up. I mean, not to me. It hadn't shown up yet, so this was also pretty new. If I had even drawn it by then, I'm not sure. And it's not my favorite to jump in just on a steep because it's, you know, it's not always going to sell or buy in such steep channels. So yeah. Anyways, caught up in that. I didn't have this red yet. Next trade was 1134. Okay, yeah. 1134. So came up. It did kind of respect this gray a little bit. I mean, didn't quite make it to it, but I thought potentially this is right then. I later duplicated it to down here a little tighter. And came down, broke purple. Oh, was I front running it here? 1134. Yeah. Started front running it. That's weird. Got up, or no, maybe I'm getting calls. Yeah, these are calls. Okay. Yeah, looking for the wedge trade, the zombie. The structure I didn't like that much. And we'd already bounced off of the blue on the 30-minute. So I assumed it was showing support. This was at 11:30, which would have been, yeah, this candle right here. So it was above it, and it ended up wicking below it, which is what this is right here. So I got a call right there for being the support. 1, 2, 3. I got 3 of them. That's what happens sometimes, and I'm very patient with my trading. And potentially all of this price action that I just was not able to get into. Exaggerated my sizing. I mean, I want to do that though. Like it is a goal. Is what I'm trying to achieve. Trading less, trading larger. So I was happy about it. I was pretty confident in it. Yeah, I guess just a little bit more patience on it. So it had broken my green. We had a doji candle, and I had purple for my stop. We also had the 30-minute that had already shown support. So I got 3. These were limit buys. The first one was a market, and then 2 more limit buys. And I was out of them on that next candle, 35, once it broke. So 90 cents, 89 cents, 91 cents, and then sold them for 77. And then since it broke, thankfully I at least got some exposure to the downside, even though I was just a little red trade. And this one I was just as confident because purple. So structure wasn't great, but I thought, I mean, we were breaking blue at this point actually. So potential for this move to the downside I thought would be quite large, breaking that 30-minute algo. So I got 4 of these actually. Looks like at 135 I got a market for $1.13. This was at 11.35 and 11.36 for $1.14, 36 for $1.15, 36 for $1.12. Those are all my buys on this candle. Some limits, some markets. I'm just trying to get filled. I have a first take profit of low of day, hoping, I don't think I had this red yet. Hoping, of course, for a larger move down, but let's see where I took some profit on these. I had this green then. And this was a larger size for sure, so I had 4 of these, and these were basically at the money, so pretty big position for this tiny account. That was like most of my buying power, I think. Yeah. Sold the first one at 11.37 on this candle. I don't know where exactly, probably pretty close to low of day. That was for $1.33. Sold the next one on that same candle for $1.46. So that was definitely with some nice slippage in my favor. And so now I was out of 2 of them. Of course, I wanted to hold as much as I could for as long as I could. Anticipating this green breaking and the inverse cup closing. you know, potential for a handle to form and it not to just keep selling. Even though on the 30 it was below it, but that candle I don't think it closed. So next one, I sold on this candle. Once this candle fully closed above green, I sold this one here. It wasn't ideal. I was just happy it was actually still green. Like I said, I was planning on holding more for longer, but I at least wanted to get out of 3 of them after this green had broken and we'd retested low of day. So that one was for $1.22. And then the last one I just decided to do a break-even stop. So my fill was actually not too bad on them because this break-even stop held on pretty long. Yeah, until this candle. So next couple candles. Stopped out on that last one for break-even right here. So I'm up on the account on E-Trade. And that was my last trade on there. I was out of buying power. So decided to flip over to Webull and give myself some opportunity for more. In case this did want to keep coming, especially on that 30-minute if we're truly breaking this blue, which we had, but we ended up wicking right there, which I think is somewhere in here. Yeah, so there's the E-Trade trades today. I was happy about that. I was happy about my position sizing. Like, I don't mind running out of buying power and after one trade, especially if it's a green one. Preferably a green one than a red one. I guess I could have just been more patient on getting calls for that. Oftentimes, maybe once it's made such a big move and then come down to retest or find support, it's going to break through it. I don't know. Yeah, so pleased though I was able to flip from calls, stopping out, and then immediately getting into puts. That definitely takes confidence, and so that shows improvement for me that I'll be with. On Webull, I got a little messed up on Webull. Let's see, 1258. Wait, no, 1206. This is so weird how it moves these around. 1206, I bought a call. Yeah, 1206, I bought a call. Came up. Okay, broke my gray, which was my last line, but I assume there was something else, but regardless, could still catch more of a wedge zombie trade up. Having missed this one was a little tough, but like I said, there wasn't. I mean, you have, I guess, an inverse head and shoulder here, and I don't have anywhere to manage my wrists. I don't have it breaking anything in here. Just kind of, yeah. So, anyways, 1206. That was on the retest here. A little more patient on this one, thankfully. It broke it, and I got an awesome fill on this one. Webull's giving me some pretty good fills today. So this was a limit, I think. Yeah, limit for 84 cents. Filled me like right here, reversed, and then started buying up in green. Just trying to be patient, looking for a much larger move. But I had to realize what was going on, and I took profit on it, I believe. Let's see. Yep. Got it for 83 cents, sold it for $1.02. Yeah, at the beginning of this candle, thankfully. So this candle closed outside the green, and once that happened, I closed this one right here. So tiny little green trade. I'm happy about how I managed that. Only one contract, so it's like I scaled down, I guess, because I was already green. I didn't want to just, I mean, yeah, not my favorite setup at all. Next trade was at 1254. This was not my favorite either. I mean, I thought it was my favorite. Ended up not being. So, of course, I saw this zombie potential, and I really considered getting calls on the support here, purple. I didn't, which is fine, but this candle was hard to watch, having not had exposure to it after I just did that trade here. And it came out and retested perfectly. Anyways, yeah, I guess maybe if I didn't fail on that one right here, I would have been more inclined to take a wedge trade instead of like a break type wedge right here. Because this getting calls here would have been the same idea as getting calls here. Anyways, that came up. I got at 12.54, 88 cents, 90 cents, and 94 cents. I was in puts right here. Okay, this wasn't the one that I was thinking of. So since we'd already bounced on blue on the 30-minute, we have 12.54 here. I got a lot because, yeah, I had confidence in it, I guess. When it broke here, it worked well. My only issue was that 30-minute. So got him for 94, 90, 88, all at 12.54. Sold one, or sorry, no. I got it for 90, 90, and 88. That's right, 99, 88. Sold one for 96 at 12.56 on this candle. So after it broke that green, I think that was my first sell. Yeah. Sold the next one 12.57 for 95 on this candle. You know, I thought, sure, I could hold it for this being the resistance, but it's going against me for one. Two, on the 30-minute, we're basically at a support with that blue line. I think we're still above that blue line. No, we maybe were below it. Yeah, I think that's actually why I scaled up here. Because I think we're actually below it. Oh, yeah, because this had just closed there. So we're on this candle. So it closed below that blue, so I was expecting a bigger move down. Yep. I think, or maybe that was later. That happened somewhere. We'll see. Yeah, 96 cents, 95 cents. This was a nice little green trade. And then the last one was 88 cents. I think it was a break-even stop. Yeah, last one was just a break-even stop. So caught that tiny bit right there. Missed this little move down, but it's no big deal. Of course, I wanted low of day, which was here, but not to wait for this grind up purple if that happened. Before. And then at 103, yeah, this was nasty. I got such a gross candle. 103, I got a fill for a put. Oh, I did get in this. Okay. I forgot about that. Right here. Yeah, I was like, I'm just going to manage it with the green. Same way I kind of missed out over here because I didn't just front run it. Where was that? Yeah, right here. Like, there was a couple times I could have just anticipated it. Like, it started selling in green. I could have just jumped in and used green for my stop. It's not my favorite, but once it's like broken out of this liquidity, like here, like on this candle, then I can use that for my stop, or even easier, just the green. I think that was kind of my process on this one. It's small structure, but we had completed the inverse cup. Then your handle. And we've done it again. I say 19. $117 and then $119. Those are both buys. Wait a minute, sorry, before that. Oh yeah. 103, I bought for $1.31. Sold at 104. This doesn't seem right. Weeble's kind of confusing. Yeah, I guess so. I must have gotten nasty fills. Yeah, I did very poor. Very poor. $1.31 to $1.18 from 103 to 104. These are puts. So 103, this must have been at the very bottom of that candle I got filled. And then 104, I think it was at the very top. From here to there, it was 131 to $1.18. That's crazy. That is crazy. Those aren't even big candles at all. Yeah. Yeah. So that was a mistake. I think I gave back all the profit on the last trade that I had 3 contracts on, just on a tiny little move. Next one was 117 and 119. Yeah, I did it again. So it came up, it's building more liquidity. I'm like, Purple still resistance. I'm still looking for the move down. It broke purple again. Given the structure's not great, but the structure hasn't been great at all today. So I got it again at 117. Bought one, bought another one at 119. Right here on the retest. Purple. And yeah, we ripped. Got out of those for $1.03 and then 64 cents on the next candle. How in the world? Oh, these are different strikes. Okay, that's right. That kind of threw me off also. When I got my second contract, for some reason I got a different strike on accident. So they were both red, but it just was messing with me a little bit. Yeah, so got a little chopped up in here for sure. Yeah, more patience, exercise would have been good. Again, the 30-minute, sometimes it really messes me up. Today, this did mess me up. Having these candles below blue, closing below blue. I am just trying to have that exposure to the flush, which never happened. So yeah, it's a bit of, I guess, FOMO of when to catch that trade. I don't know. I guess because it has all these nice big moves and there's not structure necessarily before it, and I wasn't charting. My charting didn't line up with catching those in wedges or zombies, so I just wasn't really able to get exposure to them. Like I could if I went outside kind of my risk parameters, which is annoying, and I hate seeing that because it tempts me to want to just change everything, change my risk, and just go based on structure and nothing else, or intuition. And yeah, anyway, so after this was formed, I then drew this red, which I didn't have copied here, but I pasted down here then. I'm like, okay, that's what I should have done sooner, so I could see it's actually just selling this, which makes sense because this isn't hardly any structure. It's just building liquidity at the low. But yeah, that was still all below that blue 30-minute. 103 did that. No, let's see, sorry. 203. 38. 138. $138. So still thinking inverse cup here and a handle. Nice thing, nice looking head, so potentially. And this time I chased it in the green. I was just gonna use green for my risk because I thought this was starting to go like here, and yeah, so jumped in here on this candle and it just immediately reversed. Yep, this is one of those trades I don't normally take, but it kept kind of showing up where I could have been anticipating it, and so I was like, I'll go for it, and that's my risk right there, and that's kind of the cost. So that one was 90 cents to 73 though, because that was a large candle right after I opened up that put. The next one was 1403. Yeah, so came up purple, sudden retested purple from this inverse cup and handle breaking. So this was the first time I really retested purple. I also had this red, which I don't think I'd copied in there yet. I just had it up here. Got a put right here, and I was using the gray from before to manage my risk to give it a little more room. Got one here, and then broke it. 1403 to 1404, 44 cents to 36 cents. Broke it right there. I'm just grinding. And then I started charting more after it broke that, seeing, okay, it could be selling this red until it got to here. Yeah. I'm probably red on the Weeble. Seeing these now. More red trades in here I realized. 1439. I bought 3, 4 puts right here on this candle. Seeing it breaking purple. It already retested this purple. Breaking purple as well as breaking this red. If it was selling in red, don't really want it. I was waiting for it to come up and retest here to get a put. However, this is breaking both of them. So presumably selling in the steeper green. So that's the reason for my scale. We had close below here. This was on this candle right here. I'm pretty sure we made that. You see 130. Yeah. So I thought maybe close below here, and we're coming up to retest before it flushes. Still looking at that close below blue, thinking it's something that it wasn't. Yeah, maybe this was just a stop hunt. I don't know. But yeah, I scaled up on that thing. Had 4 of them. Closed them all at 14.41 for 48 cents, and this was that nasty candle. This completely just disgusting candle after it broke that channel. This candle ripped. I was like, oh my gosh, Jill, be patient. So I had patience. I closed it like here. I got just about the best fill I could of getting out of that. Sometimes those will happen. It'll be a reversal candle even, so that's why I didn't want to just quickly jump out. And it retested the top of the range too. So I got out there, but it was still very ugly. Yeah, 48 cents on that one. And I had size. Yeah, I'm red on Webull today. It's true. And then it rallies up. And looking at puts here. I think I got a put. That's what this is. Yep. A put, 2 puts, 14.47, 14.48 for 33 cents for both. Close it for 30 cents. Very small loss on 14.49. This candle. And then it reversed. Oh, shoot. Yeah, I closed it here. Candle reversed. Definitely would have been green if I waited, but that's fine. It had broken my stop. Oh, no, 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 no. I think this is what happened. This candle was here. I opened them. Wait a minute. Yeah, because I bought back in calls. Yeah, I got whipsawed here. 14.49, I got calls. Sold the puts, flipped into calls for 57 cents and 67 cents, both on that candle. Closed them both for 56 cents on that candle. Wow, the quickest whipsaw ever. So I got puts for it being the resistance. For some reason closed them. It was probably up here when I closed them. No. Yeah, probably up here when I closed them. It came down. Nice. Oh, you know what's Webull though? That might have been this candle. That might have all been on this candle. Webull's like a minute behind. Yeah, anyways, I got whipsawed in here. I got puts, and then I got calls, and I stopped out of both of them. Dang. Had the right idea. I mean, it's an inflection point. I don't know if yeah, I didn't catch it then. I didn't go for the calls there. I was not happy about that. That one came up. Oh, I did actually get calls. Okay, but I didn't get them right away here after that happened. I got them once it broke that red, so that was a bigger break for me. Still technically inside a wedge, potential wedge. Looking for a move to safety to VWAP or end of day. This was a much uglier entry just because I had a huge green candle, and then I'm just getting it on a bit of a chase. But yeah, 14.53 right here. I got 2 for 59 cents. Sold the first one at 55. I had a nice fill on this one actually. Nice slippage to the upside. I was looking for a cup close. I only had 2 of them though. Closed one here for 99 cents. So that helps make up some of the other trades. And I wanted to hold the next one for VWAP or that cup. Held through this. Held through this. And then this candle broke my green and I closed it like down here. Like I can't hold this for that. Which is fine, just end up choppy anyways before it made it up. So second one I sold for 70 cents, so still green on those two. Yeah, I guess this happened a couple times today where I was trying to, I just wasn't exercising quite enough patience at the inflection points. Starting here, getting calls. It had broken the most aggressive selling, but I just need to have a little more patience. I'm just trying to open so close to the stop that sometimes it's not actually going to stop there and it's going to keep going through it. This was the other time. This time I think I was right. It was either my charting was bad or this was just a break, a false break. Because this time I did actually wait. I patiently waited. I was like, all right, at least I want to break this red too if it's going to come down. I'd rather get puts at the top, which is what I did. I planned on that. Got him. Stopped out of them. And then got calls. Stopped out of those. But this right here in this nasty candle was, yeah, a little unfortunate. I'm surprised I was able to manage getting. I guess I did wait through this candle before I got calls, but I was able to get a call up here, which is kind of crazy. I don't know. Is that good to be able to just reset that quick? Because I feel like I am resetting and I'm still clear headed. After taking those red trades to be able to just jump in. It doesn't feel like gambling. My risks are defined. I guess, yeah, my emotions are probably a little elevated, but in check enough to not just, I don't know, not take it and to take it and then also to take quick profit and not just try and hold for the moon. So I don't know. Seems good in hindsight. It's too much trading and some patience lacking, I'd say, in some of these. Yeah. So let's see, 1458. Yeah, sold both those. One final trade. Ended on a green one, thankfully. 1508. It was pretty tricky with some of those stop hunts. So charted this red. It came up, didn't quite complete the cup. Charted this red for a low liquidity build. Came down, looked like a nice little inverse head, especially once it started to grab that shoulder. And once it broke that red, I jumped in right here. 1508 for 90 cents. And closed out at the beginning of this candle for 99 cents. Thought I got it on this candle, but I think I was kind of waiting for, must have been waiting for that. 1511. Weeble's a minute off though. I don't know if it's, oh yeah, actually it was on this candle. This candle closed. I was like, all right, might be retesting red. And then I think I closed it on this. Closed here. This one opened. Yeah, I think I closed it on this candle pretty high on this candle. On the next one, because it's like a minute behind. No, that's quite confusing. I don't know my P&L for today, but there are the trades. This is not in order. This is where the order starts. 1206 coming down. So probably red on here. Hopefully not too red. On E-Trade, yeah, sized up. Traded less because I kind of had to. I don't know if that counts since I can trade on a second account, but yeah, little tricky price action this morning. Definitely like FOMO type inducing when it has these large moves and doesn't really build structure for it. Have to be on your wits, have your wits about you. I wasn't confident enough in my charting to take the breakouts on the steeper selling, especially when the selling's this. Like if the selling's saying the red and then it breaks, like I could take that easier. If it's selling this gray and then it gets even more aggressive, it's like for a first trade on the first day of the week, it's just not that nice. So kept exercising patience, and not being rewarded for it is difficult through here. And then catching this wedge. Yeah, this was a bounce on blue, but I don't want to just change everything and just start trying to trade on the 1 minute from the 30 minute. Even if I took it here, like where's my stop? Yeah, so hard for me to catch that. I mean, potentially I could have done it on right here once I broke that gold, but I actually had gold deleted for a while after I saw that gray, how it flipped into resistance. I thought, okay, it's just gray, it's not gold, but maybe it was both. I don't know. Anyways, yeah, we'll see how the week goes. Last week ended a little rough. I made back a lot of it though on the Weeble, so it's not as bad as I thought. But want to be patient and try and be a little bit more more patient for the rest of the week. Focus on structure a little bit more. Of course, a lot of these would have been negated with just waiting for structure. I mean, there's structure if you can see it or not, though. My charting feels pretty good. I think today was just a little tricky for, this is just price action I don't really like, where it just kind of smoothly roller coasters and it doesn't like build liquidity, and I don't know. It didn't go anywhere either. It never retested the top of anything or really the bottom. It kind of just kept bouncing off this support. But that wasn't actually bouncing off because it was actually closing below it. I don't know. Sub up, like up, comment down, have my 6th round. Let me know in the comments. Peace out.